What are the top 20 most expensive Pokemon booster boxes from the modern era? We'll be taking a look at the most expensive Pokemon booster boxes through the Sun and Moon era, Sword and Shield era, and Scarlet and Violet era. It'll be interesting. I think we can kind of guess what number 1 is going to be, but between 1 and 20, who knows? Today we're doing something different. We'll be looking at the top 20 most expensive modern era Pokemon booster boxes. That's looking at the Sun and Moon era, the Sword and Shield era, and the Scarlet and Violet era. Now the interesting thing is a lot of them are going to be Sun and Moon, but there are some real big, interesting sets that have kind of jumped up in price that I didn't really expect. So we'll be going through each of them. Let's jump in and start off at number 20. Starting us off at number 20, we have Darkness Ablaze. I know you'd be thinking, what the hell? What the hell's Darkness Ablaze doing there? Yeah, Darkness Ablaze is starting things off at $151. So to put things into perspective for the rest of this list, any booster boxes that are under 150 doesn't make it, okay? So that pretty much wipes out the entirety of the Scarlet and Violet era because they're all recently new and they're all pretty much sitting around $100. So they ain't going to be in this list. But if Darkness Ablaze is in here, then it's going to make things super interesting in this list. But yeah, Darkness Ablaze, believe it or not, it's actually been doing pretty good. You know, even though it's arguably one of the worst sets in the, you know, Sword and Shield era. I mean, I put it pretty low on my tier list a while back. It wasn't very good, and I still don't believe it is good, but it, you know, it's still going up over time. And we go back over the past year, and I mean, it did dip, and it's bounced back quite well, going down to as low as 130. Now it's back up to that 150. The fact that it can go in at number 20 is huge. You know, there are some really good Sword and Shield era sets that don't even make it into this list that Darkness Ablaze beats. So that is interesting. In at number 19, we have Lost Origin. Now, Lost Origin, I highly rate as a really strong contender for top 3 sets in the Sword and Shield era. It's doing pretty well. $153, just about beating out Darkness Ablaze, which sounds crazy to say. But Lost Origin is a fantastic set. If you haven't opened up before, it is very good. It's got a really cool trainer gallery, so a subset with got fantastic cards in it. A really expensive art, Giratina, really cool looking Aerodactyl art as well. People love this set, and it recently got reprinted, and look at it already going above 150. In the past 3 months, this set has gone from 130 to 150. That's actually a pretty good gain already. And as you can see, the reprint did happen, and then it's now on the uptick. I mean, it did reach as high as 170 or 180, which would put it a lot higher, you know, on this list. But no, it is definitely on the uptick right now. But coming in number 19. Number 18, we have Brilliant Stars, another fantastic set in the Sword and Shield era. Now, I actually used to put Brilliant Stars number 2 in my all-time favorite sets in the Sword and Shield era. I kind of feel like Lost Origin beats it to the point, really, and I also kind of feel like Crown Zenith does as well. So for me, Brilliant Stars gets knocked down to 4th. I do still think Brilliant Stars is overall just a fantastic set. From all of the Charizard to the Arceus, a fantastic trainer gallery with gold legendary birds as well. It's just like a bit of a perfect storm of just an absolute stacked set. It's just really, really good. It did get quite heavily printed as well. That's one of the reasons why it kind of hasn't really bounced back to its levels yet. But I mean, over the past 3 months, it has kind of been pretty steady. Over the past year, it hasn't really done much. I mean, it's bounced back from as low as 130. Now, it did get a reprint. It actually reached, as you can see, like 170, 180, and it did get a reprint / restock, which did, you know, kind of drop the price a little bit, but you know, not even near the top 10. Even more Sword and Shield era now. Now, there are some Sword and Shield era that break into the top 10, which we'll get to once we get there, of course. But Chilling Reign, hey look, it's doing pretty well, $167. It's not climbing as quick as I thought it would, but it's still doing quite well, you know, over the past 3 months. Climbing by about $20, which is actually pretty good going. And over the past year, I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, I remember picking these up for £90 a box, or $90 a box. I mean, it's crazy, right? So yeah, Chilling Reign, you know, doing pretty well. I expect it to continue to climb in this top 20 list in the future. Not too bad. Fusion Strike up next really surprised me. Fusion Strike really, really surprised me. And the thing is it's overtaken Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign's kind of slowed down a little bit. Fusion Strike's just kind of like, hold my beer. I'm going to keep climbing. So yeah, Fusion Strike's doing really well. I did a video recently where I went through like the sealed product over here in the UK compared to the US. Two completely different stories, to be fair. We ain't getting prices like this over here. We're just not. It's cheaper, you know, and we still can have it at retail from the Pokemon Center, so it's not too bad a Fusion Strike. Yeah, over the past year, I mean, there was a lot of talk of it no longer being available at the US Pokemon Center websites, and then yeah, this is what's happened. So Fusion Strike climbing, doing well. Gengar, of course, big card in the set. holding strong. Okay, now we're coming into Sun and Moon era territory. Crimson Invasion, by far the worst set in the Sun and Moon era. This set is pretty poor. It is pretty poor. $210. I mean, let's be honest. It's still doubled. You know, if you bought this for retail, you still doubled your money. You know, I know this is nowhere near on the same level as any of the other Sun and Moon eras, but this is still climbing. I mean, over the past year, went from 170 to 210, so it is still climbing. Slow and steady wins the race. But here's the thing: I do feel like there are decent sets in the Sword and Shield era that's going to climb the same way, just slow and steady, gaining, you know, $30, maybe even $40 a year. That's not too bad. I know it doesn't sound like a huge amount of money, but that's still not too bad. And, you know, I expect sets like Battle Stars and stuff like that to kind of go at this rate. Dance Blaze again, Vivid Voyage, stuff like that, to climb at this rate. Rebel Clash up next. Again, another poor performing set. Not very good cards in the set, not many chase cards. Overall viewed as a pretty weak one, but because of its age, I think, and some of the availability, Rebel Clash is doing pretty well. $228 has ticked up a little bit, but kind of stayed kind of stable over the past 3 months. Go back over the past year though, has actually gone up. Again, this is another one set similar to Crimson Invasion when it went up, what, $30, $40 in a year. In a year, this has only gone up by like, what, 20? So, it look, slow burner, but Rebel Clash is climbing. On to Sword and Shield base set. This is one's actually fallen, but it's doing really well at $267. It is the second most expensive Sword and Shield era set. I think we can all know what number one is going to be. But then over the past year, this has been dropping. So whereas all the others have been going up in value, Sword and Shield base has dropped by about $20 to $30. So that's actually quite interesting. It'll be interesting to see where this will end up. And it could drop further and further down on this list if other sets get more expensive. And this one continues to go down this downward trend, which it seems to be doing. All right, then we got Sun and Moon base. So we just had Sword and Shield base, Sun and Moon base. They're very close in value. Sun and Moon base is much older, of course, than Sword and Shield base. Sword and Shield base doing well, to be fair, on the grand scheme of things. Sun and Moon though hasn't really moved much. We go back over the past year, had a weird dip there. How about that? Look, it went up to 270, then it kind of like had a weird dip and then bounced back. So it is actually going up. It's gone up by around about $50, $60 over the past year, which is actually pretty good going. You know, most of the Sun and Moon era boxes are climbing across the board anyway. Some obviously faster than others. But again, this is an example of a poor set still gaining value month by month, year by year, and that is just all you ask for, really. Just missing out on the top 10, we have Guardians Rising. Again, another early Sun and Moon era set. We got a big jump now, up to $400. We're going to start getting into pretty expensive territories here. Now, over the past 3 months, this has actually gone up from $340, $350 to $400. So that's actually pretty good going. Over the past year, overall has climbed, gained about $80 on the year. Pretty good going. I mean, it's just jumped up massively recently. I like Guardians Rising. There's a few cool cards I do like in this set. Overall, though, it's not a very good, strong performing set. Kind of on that same level as like a Rebel Clash. Not really that interesting, but still, though, I think due to its age and everything else and availability, $400, pretty solid. Okay, coming into the top 10, we have Burning Shadows at $414. I have this in my collection. One of the few Sun and Moon era boxes I do have. It's still up on the year. Of course, you've got the big Rainbow Charizard. That's why people go to buy this set or try and open packs from this set. For the same price of the box, in fact, probably cheaper than the box, you can just buy the Charizard. So if you can find the Charizard, you could just buy it, add into your collection for less than the price of the box to try and open it. And it is a very difficult card to get. So yeah, $372, gone up by about $40. It actually dropped a little bit, but gone up by about $40, $50 over the past year. Again, not the best set, but still climbing. Okay, then we have Forbidden Light coming at number 9. This is the end of the sets before things get really silly. So we're looking at $436 is a big jump after this one. So $380 up to $440, so climbed quite well in the past 3 months. But over the year, done very well. This is an example of a big boom for Sun and Moon in 2023. It did very well, and we can see that coming. You know, 282 up to now 400. I mean, it's gained what, $150 in the past year. That's incredible. Don't really hear people talk much about Forbidden Light. It's kind of a forgotten set, really. But I don't even know what great cards are in this set or valuable cards are in this set. Even though that's the case, booster boxes still climbing. I'm in number 9. In number 8, this is where things get crazy. Unbroken Bonds, $606 for this set. Fantastic set. We've opened this up before. I do have one in my collection. It is a fantastic set. I probably won't open up another box again. I know we did a box break on it but like 2 years ago on the channel, like right near the beginning. And this is great, but it was a lot cheaper back then. I mean, I think I bought a box. That box back then must have been like $350, something like that. Whereas now it's not the case. So over the past year, this has gone from $460, well, it's getting $140 basically in the past year. Again, that 2023 big Sun and Moon boom. It'd be interesting to see if Sword and Shield gets a boom. But yeah, Sun and Moon, Unbroken Bonds, great set, very expensive. Then we have Evolving Skies. We talk about Evolving Skies not a huge amount recently, but we have been talking about it. It's been doing crazy, $613. It's up there with the big boys. It's up there with some of the big Sun and Moon era sets. Evolving Skies is nowhere near as old. This set came out in August 2021, not even 3 years old. That's just insane. I expect by the time we get to August this year, we could be looking at $700 plus for this booster box, which is just crazy. This will eventually reach $1,000, and I think it will go above $1,000, which means it will continue to climb up this list of the top 20 most expensive modern era booster boxes from Sun and Moon onwards. But yeah, it's hanging with the big boys. It's doing pretty well. Does miss out on the top 5, but still very, very good performance from Evolving Skies. Alright, just missing out on top 5. Coming number 6, we have Lost Thunder. I actually really like Lost Thunder. One of my favorite sets because of Lugia, of course. Beautiful artwork in this set. $627. It is getting super expensive. I'm actually looking at adding this into my collection. One of my sought after sets to pick up. I really, really like this set. I do think it's super cool. Over the past year, again, with that 2023 boom, it's been doing really well. I mean, $400, $390, gained over $200 in the past year. So over 50%. It's gained in value on the year. That's incredible. And we'll be interested to see how high some of these sets go in the Sun and Moon era, because we are looking at very, very highly priced boxes, and at $600, that's really crazy. I know Evolving Skies is even younger. Essentially, it's still crazy, but Lost Thunder, great set. Coming into the top 5, we have Unified Minds. This is crazy because I remember picking this up for a box break we did. $250, right? And that was we did it, I think it was like maybe January 2022, maybe. So 2 years ago I picked this up for $250. Look at it now, it's $650. I do have one in my collection. That's it, I only have one. Of course, I would love to get more. It is one of my favorite all-time modern era sets. I really enjoy it. There's some beautiful, stunning cards and artwork in this set. And there you go. Over the past year was $420, now $650, gone up over 50%. Crazy, guys. It is just crazy. This is a fantastic set. Of course, you've got the tag team alt arts, which in that boom of last year drove a lot of the prices of these tag team alt art sets up. So you're going to see like Unified Minds. We'll get into some of the others as well. Unified Minds is definitely one of them. Unbroken Bonds was another, where they had big, massive, expensive tag team alt art cards, which just drove the value of the set higher and higher and higher. And that's where we're at. Then we have Ultra Prism. Now, I don't believe Ultra Prism has any tag team alt arts. I think it came out before then, but it does have the most expensive trainer card, which is the Full Art Lily, which fetches a insane price tag. I think it's like over $1,000 plus in a PSA 10. It is a huge, huge card. We're looking at $666. Oh dear. So yeah, this booster box has been going up over the past year. Absolutely crazy, from $400 to $650. Actually, a fun story. Like, I've been after Ultra Prism for the longest time. Still haven't found one. I think it was in 2022. I went to the London card show, and someone was selling an Ultra Prism booster box back then for, I think it was like £400. And I was like, you know what? I was umming and ahhing buying it, and I was like, oh, I'll hold off. It's not going to jump up that much. 2023 happened, didn't it? Of the Sun and Moon, and now we're looking at 660 plus for this booster box over here in the UK. Now this box is about £600. It's gone up by about 50% since I saw it like a year and a half ago. And I kind of wish I did pick it up, but I still want one of my collection sealed. I think I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and buy one as quick as possible. But it does have the Full Art Lily, which really does drive the value and price of this box even higher. Coming into the top 3, we have Celestial Storm. This one kind of threw me off. I didn't expect Celestial Storm to be up here in the top 3. It has some pretty good cards. Of course, got Rayquaza in it, big fan favorite. It's got a big Full Art Trainer as well in the set. But I always felt like Celestial Storm, in my opinion, the Sun and Moon era wasn't really one that was talked about a huge amount. It was just kind of like there, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't say it's a bad set. I'd probably say middle of the road. I would probably compare this like maybe on the same level as like an Astral Radiance type level. If we could compare maybe Lost Thunder, Silver Tempest being similar. I would think this is kind of like an Astral Radiance type thing, as in it has some really good cards in it, and really nice cards, but people don't really talk about it a huge amount and never really did. This is insane. Go back over the past year, this has gone from over $500 a box to over $700 a box. Crazy. It hasn't dropped anywhere near as much as some of the others, but it is pushing really, really good, being the third most expensive, especially coming out of the Sun and Moon era. And there's some insane boxes. This is again another one I want to get hold of. It's just going to get harder and harder for me and more expensive. Hey, look, these boxes could reach $1,000 by the end of the year if 2024 becomes another boom. I don't think it will. As you can see over the past 3 months, the start of this year, a lot of these boxes, a lot of these sets have started to slow down a bit. So it'll be quite interesting. In at number 2, we have Cosmic Eclipse. I kind of get the feeling we knew what number 1's going to be anyway, but Cosmic Eclipse coming in at $861. I'm so happy I did pick this one up. I picked this one up because it is probably my second most favorite set in the Sun and Moon era behind Hidden Fates. Cosmic Eclipse is an awesome set. It really is. I picked one up for like 400 a couple of years ago. Really happy. Basically doubled in value. And over the past year, this set's gone from over 580 to now over 800. It is crazy. It's on the road to 1,000. But then again, you look over the past 3 months, and it's actually gone down. So it hasn't really moved much. I mean, 2024 might not really do much. We might actually start to see maybe these plateaus start to decline further down, if you know what I mean. Not down to this same level, but kind of level out and drop ever so slightly, because this whole boom in 2023 was just kind of a bit crazy, and we saw that a lot with the arts. Of course, this has the tag team arts in it as well. You kind of pushed that price. Yeah, brilliant set, amazing set, doing really well. Then of course, number 1, Team Up. I mean, it was going to be number 1, right? $2,000. It is in a league of its own. This set is, in my opinion, I would say kind of like a holy grail. Really, really is a centerpiece to have in your collection if you do have this. I mean, I don't expect people to have a ton of this or be able to buy a ton of these. I mean, trying to get hold of this in the UK is near enough impossible. This is an insane box. Over the past year, this has doubled. And to say that it doubled in value, compared to some of the others, went up by like 50%, 60%, 40%, stuff like that. It's actually doubled in value, but it doubled at $1,000. It's not like it doubled at $100 to $200, or $300 to $600. This is $1,000 to $2,000. It's just insane. Where will this set end up by the end of this year? I do not know. As you can see, though, over the past 3 months, it hasn't really done much. And we can see a lot of that trend with a lot of these Sun and Moon eras. They had that boom, 2023. But then as soon as 2024, end of 2023, 2024 hit, they haven't really moved much. Do I expect him to go under 2,000? Probably not, just because this set is so underprinted really badly. It's going to be hard to get hold of. Unlike all the other sets which had somewhat normal printing. Poor Team Up. Big money card in it. Loads of massively huge expensive arts. One of the most expensive modern era cards that you can find in this set with the Latios tag team. This set is just crazy. There you have it, guys. Those are the top 20 most expensive modern era booster boxes. Sword and Shield have some sets that they're trailing. They're on the route to becoming good and mixing with the Sun and Moon era. Of course, Sun and Moon era has the advantage of being older, and I think that has a massive part to play. But then Evolving Skies was like, hey, look, hold my beer. I'm up here with the big boys, and I expect Evolving Skies potentially to hit top 3. I think it will overtake some of these other Sun and Moon era sets. I think it will overtake Celestial Storm. I kind of feel like it'll be up there with Cosmic and to Team Up. We'll have to wait and see. I think this year is going to be a big year for Evolving Skies. In fact, I would even go out as far as a limb and say this year could be the year for Evolving Skies, like last year was the year for Team Up, or for a lot of the Sun and Moon era. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, and I think that's going to be the same for some of these other Sword and Shield era sets, where it'll be Fusion Strike, Chin and Rain, Lost Origin. They're going to be doing very well. Dance Blaze coming number 20 though, kind of threw me off. But of course there are other sets in the Sword and Shield era that are very good as well. Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance, Vivid Voyages isn't too bad. That I do feel like, they might come into the top 20, but we'll have to wait and see. There are some really strong contenders, kind of on the back 5, so between 15 and 20, might change quite rapidly. But I think the top 5, top 10 are going to be pretty solid. I don't think there's going to be much movement in rankings there, but Evolving Skies might change that. If it's far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you have any of these sets? Are there any sets that you are looking to pick up into your collection? Look, I'm after one of each of the Sun and Moon era booster boxes. I will get one of each one day, including Team Up. Whether or not it would cost me 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever, eventually I will get a Team Up booster box. hopefully. If you want to know what's been going on in the UK Pokemon sealed market, where I go through, well, what's been going on over here, then make sure to click the video on screen right now. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it for me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.